Stunning news out of Europe this morning, where Germany's leader, Angela Merkel, could lose power any day now because of her open border policies. Here to react, former deputy assistant to the president and Fox News national security strategist, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Doctor, thanks for being here. So I call her...
Happy Father's Day, Pete.
Happy Father's Day, sir. I appreciate it. You could call her, Chancellor or the Queen of Open Borders. Are there going to be consequences now for the policies she's taken?
Yeah, absolutely. Her coalition partner, the CSU of Bavaria, is trying to reflect the reality in the European Union of disastrous immigration policies. A recent poll amongst German voters saw that more than 60% of those polled said they don't want undocumented asylum seekers even let into the country. So this idea that you can just open the borders for as long as you like and there won't be consequences for you politically, or even when it comes to the safety of the nation, well, finally, reality is giving pause for thought to the politicians in Germany. Well,
so, Doctor, ultimately, the voices of the voters matter. And so the people who have to deal with the consequences of the utopian visions of the open borders elites are saying, wait, you've changed the whole contours of our country. We may not be in for this.
Right. So, look, if you don't have borders or if you don't control, Germany has basically said we'll accept anybody, then the concept of the nation ceases to exist. Not only that, you see the attacks happening again and again and again. Germany has suffered. There's been another knife attack just within, minutes of this broadcast in France. So this is why events like Brexit occur. They're the reality check for these elites that simply don't live in the real world and who think that you can do this without consequences. Merkel, on her New Year's Eve statement 2 years ago, said the biggest threat to Germany is jihadi terrorism. In her next sentence, she said, but we will not stop allowing refugees and asylum seekers into the country. Well, those two things, they can't exist at the same time, Pete.
Yeah, not in reality, of course. And they've welcomed almost, I believe, 1.6 million refugees. Now, on another subject, we got to get your take on it, is, of course, the left. Look at some of these headlines and the way they're characterizing this president, especially following his meeting with Kim Jong-un. The Washington Post says, dictator envy. Trump's praise of Kim Jong-un widens his embrace of totalitarian leaders. Huffington Post, shockingly, Donald Trump wants attention like Kim Jong-un gets from North Koreans. LA Times, Trump voices admiration of envy of Kim. Okay, it goes on and on. Donald dreams of dictators. So, of course, because he cuts a deal that makes America safer, he is an autocrat.
So did they say the same thing when Kennedy met with Khrushchev in Vienna in the 1960s? They didn't say anything of the sort. And if he were a dictator, they wouldn't be allowed to say what they are saying. These people are suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. The Singapore summit, which I was honored to, be there with Sean Hannity and his team, if that succeeds, that will be the the greatest diplomatic success for any American president since the end of the Cold War. And they want to criticize him for it. They truly live in an alternate universe, Pete.
Well, they certainly do. And their only criticism is a general salutes him and he salutes him back, and suddenly now he's a dictator. Dr. Sebastian Gorka, appreciate your insight and happy Father's Day. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Pete.